Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we're going to be going into a deep dive with the Kylo Ren miniseries, The Rise of Kylo Ren. We're going to be taking a look at issue 3 today. That's here on Star Wars Coffee.
I have spoken.
Hello there to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding me for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on this video and any other video from the channel that you check out, and be sure to hit that notification bell so that the bell is completely filled in, as this is the way you will never miss a new video the second it goes live.
Do it!
The Rise of Kylo Ren is an excellent miniseries, and for those of you who are just watching my reviews of it and my breakdowns of it, I highly recommend you go pick up an actual copy of these, whether it be digitally, whether you just look them up online, whether you go buy them at your local store. But this is such an amazing comic book series, especially for those of us who actually like Kylo Ren. This comic in particular had a lot more of Luke Skywalker's teaching in it, which was actually really cool. Very nice echoes to the original trilogy in there. And sadly, this is a miniseries, but I would love to see this expanded somehow, whether it be with a TV show, an even deeper comic, or a full-length type of novel. But with that being said, let's take a look at The Rise of Kylo Ren issue 3 more closely. So it opens up with the Knights of Ren at a cantina, and we have Ben Solo walking in. And this echoes an earlier point in the miniseries where Ren, the leader of the Knights of Ren, tells Ben to look them up. Ren makes the point to mention the shadow that looms over Ben as he did when they first encountered him. And Ren also re-emphasizes the fact that many seek the Knights of Ren out and end up regretting it. And to get into the Knights of Ren, Ren tells Ben Solo that a death is required, and that finding them is just not good enough. And Ben tells Ren that he has killed a Jedi. And also, Snoke is referenced a lot in this conversation, in this dialogue between the two of them, with the word maybe also thrown in there a good amount of times. Snoke clearly has talks with the Knights of Ren, or at least just Ren, the leader of them. And Ben Solo has also had talks with Snoke, as we know from the previous comic. So these two are clearly being interwoven and maybe even doing the same type of thing where he's bridging the connection between the two of them. Ben Solo is told to tell his story about the Jedi he killed by Ren. The comic then launches off and kicks off into the past, where Ben tells Ren he wanted to go back to the planet where they first met on his search to find them. He is followed by Luke's students from earlier in the miniseries, and then Ren cuts him off, and he wants to go even further back from there to learn who these characters are. And their names are Vo, Hennix, and Ty. These are the surviving members of Luke's Jedi Temple. Luke, when we're taken back, is shown all of them as much younger, as like more kids, and we have a much more Return of the Jedi era looking Luke, talking about the Force and really echoing Yoda's teaching and his young pupils referencing stones and Yoda did on Dagobah. So Luke is clearly a great teacher. He's clearly very wise, very knowledgeable in the Force. After all, he was trained by Obi-Wan and Yoda, even if it was that brief. The expanded comics and the canon of that is just more in depth and really points to how wise Luke actually is. And the more I see of Luke in canon, the more of a great character I think he is. Not even the fact that he's already one of my favorite characters. But Ben sums Vo up as having a temper issue. He sums Hennix up as being a thinker, trying to open a holocron as he's depicted as doing. And Vo seems to be the most true to an average Jedi in terms of like what we would have seen in a prequel trilogy. And then we go back to the battle after Ren gets the idea of who these characters are. And Ben just completely destroys all three of them, like really without much effort. And throughout the whole time that he's doing this, he's still clearly conflicted and he can't decide if he actually wants to do this or not. So after he makes a decision to like throw one of them off a ledge, he then decides, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that, and tries to stop it with the Force. And even with that, he still completely wrecks all of them, even with all of his uncertainty. Vo is all about trying to show up Ben, and she just gets completely whomped, and then Ben tries to save her. Ben killed Hennix, who's the thinker, and Ren can tell that he didn't want to, so he makes the comment of that. It goes back to the cantina, and Ren says, I killed a Jedi, but he says, yeah, but you didn't want to. And then Ben clearly is still very unsure about the path that he wants to take. He's still very confused. But Ren decides in the end to let them shadow him a bit, because he says that he still has the shadow and Snoke thinks highly of him, so that's not nothing. And then the funniest line in this comic is Ren just completely destroys him. Like, the actual quote is, "This kid looks like trash, an actual pile of garbage," because Ben's just not, like, he's just clearly battered and torn, so they have to get him this new outfit, so they put him in these dark clothes, which if you've watched any other reviews is usually the thumbnail style that they go with, is just that one, because there's like no text or anything on it. But that was just like the funniest line. Ren ends up letting him shadow him, but clearly this isn't like Luke's gonna be really nice to you and teach you about the Force, be very disciplined. They're just gonna be throwing these absolute like bombs at him. The kid looks like trash, an actual pile of garbage. So that's, I hope we can get more humor of that in the final comic episode, or number 4 of the Rise of Kylo Ren miniseries. But as far as the comics go, I really liked certain parts of this a lot. I think this whole series overall is excellent, and it's going to be a great read overall when it's just re-released in just a one format of a book rather than 4 mini. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you've picked them up, if you've read them, what you think of it in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. May God bless you and the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.